Bentley. Finna got in the gently. Ain't been friends with these cause when I was down, I so had sympathy. But that's how I go when you broke. Now I'm like Mexico. This do my own. Not gonna lost on these new clones. Then she asked for a loan. Had to laugh, then I told her get gone. Gon' get that me on. Ain't no give me not a thing. So I spend 90K on my rain. You can see all my pain in my
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. With that, we head up to MetLife Stadium as we'll hand it over to the two men that'll call the action, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be taken out by the product of the University of Louisville, the talented Teddy Bridgewater.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
They go play action here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Matt Milano not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
3rd and long for Bridgewater. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Defense.
So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And he hits Jermaine Kearse. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The Jets on the move. Couple of big plays back-to-back. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory, right at the 40. Throwing is Bridgewater. Brought in by Walford, right side. And he gets it down to the 32. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now a handoff to Crowell. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. Now a man who began his career as a Saint, this is Chris Ivory. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Now a play fake here on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Allen from the gun on third down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And now running right through it. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football,
and he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. Josh Allen, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bills have taken the early lead. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that
and they take him down. The Bills get to him. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't. And a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some big jelly or something.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. From the gun, Bridgewater. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Here's Bridgewater. And this one is incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And the Bills getting set to go. So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one good for 12 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he fires one, but incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. Might have needed just one more block as it stands, 37-yard return. And the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10. They go play action. Bridgewater. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Darren Lee picks it, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. If you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Lorenzo Alexander coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the truck. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Trent Murphy in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Corey Coleman now, he gears up to help lead this offense again. 2nd quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part, but they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers will tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect him to stay silent for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point. On 2nd down, here's Allen. He's got a man. It's Corey Coleman. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. So there you go. Like you predicted, they do get him involved, and he's got his first catch and a first down.
And what you need to do there is just put a check mark next to the circle with his name, with his number in it. Don't put the line through it. It's not done yet. That should be the first of many.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up the first down for him, too.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Throwing is Allen on third. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. New York set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. On second down, here's Crowell. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
To throw is Bridgewater. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call the timeout. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Chris Ivory again gearing up to help lead this offense. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field. Didn't have a receiver open downfield as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Getting set to go again here, Teddy Bridgewater coming back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Defensively, Harrison Phillips there to stop him.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
So he comes out of nowhere. He's got this handlebar mustache, greasy hair, and he says, would you rather eat a jar of mayonnaise or 3 sticks of butter? And I look, well, all right, never mind. Third quarter action now. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Here's Allen. Coleman has it here right side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. This quarterback now hitting on 2/3 of his passes. 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10.
Back out of that Philly. Here we go.
From the gun, it's Allen. He goes full extension, and he's got it. Back-to-back gains of 17, and they are really on the march now. It's a first down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. The pitch to Crowell. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
That's caught right side by Anderson. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And that is incomplete.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Allen. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It'll be a 3-yard gain. And just like that, it's 3rd down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Allen now looks to throw. Flush to his right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Jordan Jenkins able to run him down for a loss of a yard. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Touchdown, Buffalo.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
It's caught on the left side by Kurz. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Jet football, but they trail here as we start the 4th quarter. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Bridgewater again. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The Jets on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4. And again, it's Bridgewater. And that will be incomplete as well. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Found his target. It's Anderson. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on 1st. He was going again for a noon one, and now it's 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up 2nd down.
Throwing is Bridgewater. Buying time to his left. And he'll go down at the 28. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Tide Bulls tried it, went for it, but it didn't pay off. And the Bills are going to get the football back. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They run the counter to Ivory. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
Allen on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
It's taken to the 26. We'll call that a 41-yard punt. The net a little greater, though, following a loss on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. So out now come the Jets. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Bridgewater to throw it. The grab made by Curse over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
That's complete over the middle to Anderson. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. The quick slant, good for 8 and a 1st. First down, Bridgewater. Hauled in by Anderson, left side. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Bridgewater now from the 50. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on fourth, and we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
On second down, Ivory. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, second down. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost.
And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Jordan Jenkins in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
50.
Bridgewater on first down. And his throw here's incomplete. The big tight end, Clive Walford, the intended target. And that'll bring up second down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Third and long for Bridgewater. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds. 19 left.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Bridgewater now. He's going to let it fly. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
On first down, this is Ivory. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for the